On Thursday, the Washington Post published a report claiming that the documents sought in the search of Mar-a-Lago by the FBI contained classified information related to nuclear weapons, among other items. Now think about that. Nuclear weapons. Yikes. So now, of course, Trump responded to this earlier on Truth Social, saying this: nuclear weapons issue is a hoax, just like Russia was a hoax. 2 impeachments were a hoax, the Mueller investigation was a hoax, and much more. Same sneezy people involved. Why wouldn't the FBI allow the inspection of areas of Mar-a-Lago with our lawyers or others present? Made them wait outside in the heat. Wouldn't let them get even close. Said absolutely not. Planting information, anyone? Reminds me of a Christopher Steele dossier. Look, every little bit of that is just complete and utter BS. Total lies. Which, by the way, later on, as I'm going to show you, Trump changed his story. So he went from planting to, it was already declassified. But we'll get to that. First, let's go and debunk some of the earlier lies about, for example, nobody being able to watch the FBI as they had searched Trump's home. Here is Trump spokeswoman Christina Bobb pushing back against that.
They had a better view than I did because they had the CCTV that they were able to watch. I was stuck in the parking lot there to collect paper and answer questions, but they were actually able to see the whole thing. So they actually have a better idea of what took place inside.
And so that was another point of controversy that I've read 2 different, completely contrasting reports on. One said that the FBI actually made them turn off all of the cameras. You're telling me that they didn't. Please elaborate.
Well, they did. So initially they said you need to turn off all the cameras, and then of course the staff complied and said, oh, the FBI is making us turn off the cameras, and then the lawyers jumped in and said, no, you actually don't have to turn them off. So shortly after they turned them back on. So the cameras were only off for a very short period of time.
A very short period of time. Maybe long enough to plant evidence. Again, that's right-wingers. But no, they've actually decided to step away from the planting of the evidence. Okay. And look, let me give you his newest statement on that. You'll love it. Number 1, it was all declassified. Number 2, they didn't need to seize anything. They could have had it anytime they wanted without playing politics and breaking into Mar-a-Lago. It was in secured storage, but the additional lock put on as per their request. Not true. They could have had it anytime they wanted. Yeah, they asked for it. They had subpoenas out for it already. We found that out on Wednesday. And that includes long ago. All they had to do was ask. They did ask. There was a subpoena. The bigger problem is, what are they going to do with the 33 million pages of documents, many which are classified, that President Obama took to Chicago? There it is. There it is. Obama, 33 million pages of documents. Okay, for one, there were documents that were not taken by Obama, by the way. And of course, they're not classified, they're declassified. They were given to the National Archives. The National Archives sent it to the Obama Library in Chicago. So it went through the proper chain of custody. Obama didn't just go and take the documents and bring them to his house. No, he gave them to the National Archives like he's supposed to, under the law, under the Presidential Records Act. And then the National Archives sent it to the Obama Library in Chicago. That's how it worked. But of course, he had to bring it back to Obama. Always. Clear distraction. But no, okay, so let's get back to the nuclear stuff, right? Oof. So now the details of the documents that were sought by the FBI such as whether the nuclear weapons in question were tied to the United States or another country, are not clear yet. Nor was it known if the agency had found the documents that they were seeking, but according to the inventory that the agents provided Trump's team, well, the documents, you had 11 sets of classified documents that were labeled top secret. In fact, according to the Wall Street Journal, who had received a copy of this, and Fox News, who also received a copy of this, okay, federal agents reportedly seized one set of top secret SCI documents, the highest level of classification, 4 sets of top secret documents, 3 sets of secret documents, and 3 sets of confidential documents, the lowest level of classification. Now, Trump says, oh, they're all declassified. No, there's a process to go through and declassify documents. Donald Trump did not go through that process. He can't just come out and say, I declare all of these documents declassified. Shazam, declassified, declassified. No, you can't do that. Especially you can't do that after the fact. You have to go through a process, a very specific process in order to do that. And he didn't. Now, again, going back to the contents of the document, it is not known what they were specifically about, although there is some documents that we do know about. Among the items taken from Trump's resort was one about pardoning Roger Stone, okay, and a document about the president of France. What? But okay, the nuclear documents. Well, we don't know yet. Were there nuclear documents there? Not sure. So, but again, it's pretty clear that he didn't have things, or he had stuff that did not belong to him, stuff that is classified, and under his own law that he had signed in 2018, that is a big no-no. But that gets me back to how this entire search of Mar-a-Lago happened in the first place. It's because of the mole. A mole saw somebody inside the White House, and Mick Mulvaney said it's in between about 6 to 8 people that knew where the safe was. He didn't even know what the safe was. He was Trump's chief of staff. And he was like, hey, I didn't know it was there, but as far as I know, there's about 6 to 8 people in that little inner circle who would know. And one of them's a mole. One of them's a traitor. One of them, apparently, according to Newsweek, and then the Wall Street Journal, both said that someone familiar with the documents inside Mar-a-Lago told investigators that there may have been more classified documents at the club that were than were initially turned over. Citing 2 sources briefed on the classified documents sought in the subpoena, the New York Times reported Thursday that federal officials were prompted to search Mar-a-Lago because the uncollected material was particularly sensitive to national security. And that's what makes me think, what if these were, like nuclear, like information on the United States' nuclear arsenal. And I think that no country should have nuclear weapons. I really wish that we would denuclearize. There's no reason for anyone to have enough missiles that would, destroy the world several times over. I think that's a bad idea, especially since they can fall in the hands of people like Donald Trump or Kim Jong-un or, what have you, right? Still, unfortunately, we live in the world that we live in, and nuclear proliferation is pretty much everywhere. Yet, there are some countries that would love to get their hands on information about America's nuclear arsenal. I could think of a couple. I could think of Russia, I could think of China, could think of perhaps Iran, Saudi Arabia, maybe. I mean, again, there are countries all over that are like, let's find out America's nuclear secrets. Maybe we can use that as leverage, or maybe we can, I don't know, do something. And what would Trump, what would he benefit from having these? He could sell them. You don't think Donald Trump would try to sell America's nuclear secrets? Do you think he has any loyalty to this country? No, I don't think he does. No, I believe that the only loyalty that Trump has is to himself. And I know it's baseless conspiracy, right? Well, not entirely baseless, I think. But I think that Trump, I think if given a chance to make a ton of money, Why wouldn't he? I'm just saying. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but they are looking at espionage charges related to the Espionage Act now. And that says it's very, very serious. And so, what did they find? And what will happen? This just got incredibly serious